was me, Barry.
If you spent any amount of time in the Gacha community, you've probably heard the same complaints over and over again. Daily logins are predatory, 50/50s are the worst, artifact grinding is garbage, there's no content, the meta makes old characters useless, you have to pull every new character. And every time I hear these complaints, I have the same thought. Am I the only one who can admit that I love gachas for what they are? Because apparently most of these problems don't exist for me. I'm not saying that these complaints are invalid. These are real frustrations for a lot of people. But the funny thing is, almost every system people complain about is something I genuinely enjoy. Maybe I'm the target audience, or maybe I'm the problem. Let's talk about it. Problem number 1, the daily login. One of the biggest complaints in Gacha is Gachas force you to log in every day, and honestly, I love it. I know it sounds crazy, but traditional games require something I don't really have. Time. If I boot up Elden Ring, Persona, Baldur's Gate, I feel like I need 2 to 3 uninterrupted hours before I even bother. With Gachas, I log in for 15 minutes, spend my stamina, do my dailies, log off. Progress was made. I have a reasonable stopping point, and I don't feel guilty for playing a game as an employed individual.
Leave me alone!
Employment. The daily reset actually gives me a sense of urgency, a reason to log in. Today's progress expires tomorrow. And instead of making me feel trapped, it motivates me to actually play. Without that urgency, I'd probably procrastinate. I'll play tomorrow, this weekend, or next month. The next thing I know, I've forgotten the game even exists. I've wasted so much money on games like Arkham and Assassin's Creed that way. Never even left the plastic wrap. Daily systems keep the game in my routine. Every morning or night, I make sure to log in for my 15 minutes. And then, in the weekends, when I actually have time, I might play a story mode or 2. Problem number 2. 50/50s. This might get me cancelled, but I don't really care about 50/50s. People absolutely hate losing 50/50s. And sure, winning always feels better. But I don't think about it that much. Because the rules are known from the beginning. Either you save enough for guarantee, or you gamble. That's the literal system. If I choose to roll early, knowing that I might lose, that's on me. Say it with me, folks. Accountability. If I really wanted the character, I would have saved. Now, obviously, losing feels disappointing, but I don't think the existence of a 50/50 ruins the game. It's just a mechanic that tests your resources and discipline. And if you're upset about losing a 50/50, no offense, but you're lacking one of these skills. Or money. Most of the time I win, sometimes I lose, but when I do, I move on. And plus, if I see that I don't have guarantee and I decide to spend anyways, I don't assume that I'm gonna win. If I do, yay. If I don't, I probably have a precaution that, I'm either gonna get the character by the end of the update, or I'm just gonna move on. Problem number 3. You're forced to pull every character. This is another complaint I can kind of relate to. People feel pressured to summon on every single banner. Honkai Star Rail is the only game left that makes me feel this way, and yet I still think of who will benefit my account before I pull. Meanwhile, with most other games, I'm over here making challenge accounts. Shooters only, yin yang only, heal knights only, highlighters only, pink hair only, whatever sounds fun. I intentionally reduce my options because limitations make the game more interesting. Plus, I used to wail on Genshin, and when you own every character you want, the game becomes boring faster. You lose your reason to hunt. However, when you're missing like 60% of the roster, or pivotal meta characters, now you actually have to think and experiment. Ironically, the less I pull, the more fun I have. So when people say, I have to summon this character, I just think, do you? Or is that FOMO talking? Next, we have gear farming. Okay, this is probably my hottest take. RNG gear farming? I love it. Not because I like collecting garbage pieces. Nobody likes rolling 4 flat pieces, alright? But because when you finally get that perfect piece, it feels incredible. Suddenly every bad run feels worth it. You now have a story with every character you've built. Some took a night like my Juyen or Norma. Some took almost all month to get subpar stats. And every now and then you get that perfectly built character like my beautiful Evernight. No, seriously, like, she was just beautifully built in like a couple of weeks. It was amazing. There's something oddly rewarding about that. Logging in, burning stamina, seeing what drops, and slowly improving your character over months. It gives me a reason to chase, a reason to play. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? A lot of these systems give me a reason to even boot up the game and something to look forward to, something to chase. Progression. I love Enfield, but building your factory one time to get a perfect set on everyone leaves me kinda empty. Let me grind. When did we become allergic to actually playing the game? Also, maybe gear grinding doesn't grind my gears because I don't seek perfection. Someone out there is losing their hair because their Billy doesn't have 45 active stats, but I'm happy with anything 32 and higher. Next problem? The meta isn't as oppressive as people say. The shill isn't that bad, unless you play Zenless Zone every now and then. But the shill isn't that bad. Don't get me wrong, power creep exists. I'm not pretending otherwise. New characters are usually stronger. That's business. However, I think online communities tend to exaggerate how quickly a character becomes unusable. The amount of people I hear saying Astrid Yao and Ruan Mei are done.
Stop it. Get some help.
Every patch I see people saying this character is dead, don't build them, they've been replaced. And then 6 months later someone clears the hardest content with them. Was it slower? Maybe. Was it optimal? Probably not. Did it still work though? Yeah. I think many players confuse not the best with absolute trash! Your account is bricked! Those aren't the same thing. Most gacha games aren't difficult enough to require absolute perfection, especially if you invested in your characters over time. I've gotten way more mileage out of my Firefly and Juyen than people online told me I would. Nowadays, when someone declares a character is dead, I usually play them for myself before believing. However, Fei Xiao truly is dead, guys. I mean, you can't really play her. And there was a period of time for Zhu Yan between like 2.4 and Pyrois where you couldn't really play her. You could still drop her out there, especially if you have a Dailin. My challenge account did not have Dailin, so my Zhu Yan was on the bench for a good minute, but she's back and active. There is nothing to do. This might be my favorite complaint because I completely understand why people feel this way. You finished the story, you spent your stamina, and then that's it. People call the game dead until the next update. Me? I love it. Because I don't just play one gacha game. I bounce between multiple games. I currently play 4. If every single one demanded 4 hours a day, I'd quit most of them. Instead, each game asks for 15 to 20 minutes. Suddenly, I can keep up with multiple games. Zenless, Star Rail, Enfield, NTE, any other game that catches my interest. Maybe Mulgle Stardive will someday make it to PS5. Who knows? The point is, these games fit around my life and not the other way around. If I fall behind, it's cool because one dead patch later, I'm caught up again. Why rush the game? There's 42 days until the next update. Slow down. It's not the end of the world. Yet. Maybe I'm just the target audience. After thinking about this, I realized something. Maybe these games were designed for someone exactly like me. Someone who likes slow progression. Someone who likes a routine. Someone who enjoys building up his account over months. Someone who makes self-imposed challenges. Someone who doesn't need endless content every single day. I am employed. When people call these games gacha slop, they're usually describing a mechanic they don't personally like. And that's fair. But some of these mechanics are the exact reason why I'm hooked. And not in the I'll lose my house next week kind of way. So in my final thoughts, I just want to say I'm not here to convince anyone that these systems are perfect. Some gachas actually are greedy with their monetization. Some have awful rates, some disrespect your time, not mine. They deserve criticism. But I've realized something. A lot of mechanics that people want removed are the same mechanics that make me enjoy the genre. So the next time someone asks, who's this gacha slop for?
It was me, Barry.
And honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm tired of hearing that these quality games are trash games and that people call themselves trash for playing it or call others trash for enjoying them. You keep playing them, so just own the fact that you love them, because I do. If you disagree with me, let me know why. I'm curious to see which bad gacha mechanic you secretly enjoy, or which one is a deal breaker that keeps you away from these games. Maybe I'm the weird one, but I can't be the only one, so let me know in the comments. If you made it this far into the video, go ahead and hit the like button. If I won the 50-50 TR hearts by being so real and putting myself out there to probably be pitchforked and mogged against, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm here to spit nothing but my honest truth. This means something to me. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Good night.
See you later, too.